And now, the host for tonight's program is one of ESPN's most versatile commentators, an Emmy Award-winning reporter for high-profile events including the College Football Playoff, ABC Saturday Night Football, Women's Final Four, Women's College World Series, and other NCAA championships. She was recently inducted into the Utah Sports Hall of Fame and has received the 2025 Keith Jackson Eternal Flame Award, the 2023 Kurt Gowdy Electronic Media Award from the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, and the 2022 Mel Greenberg National Media Award from the WBCA. Please welcome Holly Rowe.
Hello, everybody, and good evening. I'm Holly Rowe, and it is my pleasure to be here for the 2026 NCAA Honors Award. So full disclosure, I am so nervous because I never see my audience, and we just did the Rose Bowl, and I think 24 million people watched, and I am much more nervous right now. So please be kind. I am so excited because in my job, I get to contribute to the storytelling process. That's all we do. It's how I've spent my life on television, telling stories. And to highlight the success of talented male and female college professional athletes is my day job. But this is really an honor to return and MC this event because we get to hear stories of NCAA athletes where we all come together and celebrate what makes college sports so unique and so special, and these student athletes who dedicate their lives to these. I know college sports is under a lot of changing momentum and a lot of shifting sand right now, and this is a true reminder of what we have to protect. The college athletes who are not going to go on and be pros, they're going to go on and be doctors. My goodness, we had an astronaut one year, so that is what we are trying to protect. Tonight, we will be moved by the stories of inspiration and valor, and we'll recognize those who've concluded their college career both recently and 25 years ago. We'll also pay tribute to student-athlete mentors and coaches, as well as giants of the game who are no longer with us. But first, we will start with remarks from NCAA President Charlie Baker on the state of college sports, and then we'll celebrate this year's impressive group of honorees. So to kick things off this evening, please join me in welcoming to the stage President Charlie Baker.
So good afternoon, everybody. And before I get started, I just want to be the second to say congratulations to all of our honorees. I'm really looking forward to the ceremony, and having read many of your stories, we couldn't be more proud and more pleased to have you here with us today. Thank you. I'm going to talk today, this afternoon, it's dark in here, I guess, about what we got done, what needs to get done next, and how we can do it. I'm also going to ask all of you to think about how you can play a part in the solution, because no single person, school, or conference alone can fix what's broken. At the same time, singular, isolated actions can send shockwaves through our system. That's because this enterprise is the definition of distributed decision-making. To keep the things we love about our system and to continue improving it, every member must fully participate in every aspect. That means fully participating in the rules and the outcomes, just as you'd fully participate in a national championship. Because when that doesn't happen, when a quick win for one is prioritized, the whole suffers. I'm proud to say that NCAA leaders across our membership and staff prioritize the whole of the system in several areas to get a lot of good stuff done this past year. I was fortunate to visit 17 campuses, hold about 200 meetings with committees, conferences, student athletes, and coaches groups, and get to 13 NCAA championships, which of course are the best across all three divisions. Those sideline conversations help me better understand the realities that you face. And as a result, we're better serving student athletes in schools, improving the fan experience, and growing the college ecosystem. Division I student athletes benefited from another year of the core guarantees, mandatory health care and mental health services and guaranteed scholarships. Divisions 1 and 2 combined to provide a staggering $4.1 billion in scholarships. $4.1 billion in scholarships makes college sports the largest provider of free financial aid to American students after the federal government. To put it another way, it's almost twice as much as the state of California hands out in college aid. It's a staggering investment that you all make in America's future, and you deserve enormous credit for that. And maybe even you should give yourselves a round of applause. We also grew the number of opportunities for student athletes to compete to 556,000 student athletes association-wide. That would be the most ever. And in D1, the total number of opportunities to compete grew to its highest level in 40 years. D1 is also on track to continue this growth despite cost pressures that we know are very difficult to manage. We're also in the midst of an historic academic year, the first in which schools can provide financial benefits directly to student athletes. I think this is a good thing. I proposed something similar 2 years ago, shortly after I got the job. Student athletes are now on track to receive over $1 billion in new direct financial benefits from their schools this year. Combined with scholarships and other aid, that adds up to about 50% of A4 revenue going right to the young people we serve. And on top of this, we work together to completely reform how D1 operates and double the number of student athlete votes on our boards. We're also better serving our member schools. The national office increased revenue by 25%, or about $300 million. We found savings to reduce overhead costs to 12% of revenue, which is down from 16%. This progress allowed us to absorb big pieces of some of the costly legal settlements before impacting distributions. And we also slashed the bureaucracy in D1 by about 30%. Fewer committees leads to faster outcomes and more nimble decisions. At the same time, we reorganized the national office structure to combine 2 departments and reduce executive compensation by about 10%. Processes that used to take months are now digitized, saving you paperwork and time and effort. And since launching our initiative with RefQuest, the total number of officials registered in the NCAA's central hub has grown by 26%. 98% of conferences throughout Divisions 1, 2, and 3 are taking advantage of this pool of officials. We're also annually evaluating every championship to ensure gender equity. This work has yielded tremendous progress for women's sports that student athletes experience at our games. Division 3 teamed up with the National Council for Mental Well-Being to provide mental health first aid training to every Division 3 campus at no charge. And D2 joined the free streaming initiative. Now, all rounds of championships are available for fans anywhere and anytime. And because of these positive changes, the NCAA has done a tremendous amount of work to make the system better for everybody. We're also better serving fans and growing the ecosystem that we all operate in. A massive step forward coming soon in women's sports will be acrobatics and tumbling and stunt as official NCAA championships. And flag football is moving ahead as an emerging sport. Once again, these new events will connect the NCAA with new fan bases, and we can't wait to get there. We also launched a new data sharing partnership with schools, conferences, and recently with the USOPC, enabling us all to expand and deepen our connections to fans. And one of my favorites, the Game On programming that we launched as part of our agreement with ESPN, is in full bloom. Let's take a look at the FCS preview.
The Dakota Dynasty lives on. North Dakota State. You're staring a #1 overall seed in the FCS playoffs right in the face.
What are we willing to sacrifice to accomplish something we will remember for the rest of our lives? Grab a shovel and dig.
So many kids from the state of Montana, this is their Super Bowl.
This is a cool rivalry. There's a lot of cool stuff about it.
And the Bobcats get it! The Bobcats win the game!
Knowing that he was going to be the starter playing against Army, that was what he's worked his whole life for.
And it is good! The Texans have done it!
Kick is up. It's good! And Harvard has won!
These episodes represent unprecedented exposure for everything from football to gymnastics to hockey and wrestling. That's a lot of positive change happening in the past 12 months. And again, most of it was made possible because our national office staff was empowered to advance critical initiatives, and our leaders in the membership prioritized what was best for the system at large. This progress took time to develop and advance. It wasn't accomplished through a series of hot takes on YouTube. I say this as a former public official. I think this year set an all-time high in social media chatter proposing easy-sounding solutions to just about every open issue in college sports. Tampering? I think there's an armchair QB with a Reddit post on how to fix that. Transfer rules, that got solved by a talking head during a TV timeout. My point is, we continue to face destabilizing issues not because we're ignorant of a ready-made Plan B. There is no better rule or quick fix that solves the problems we face, in many cases not without tremendous downsides. You should all be aware of those quick fixes because there's usually a middleman who stands to benefit. And beware of a solution that works for only 5% of student athletes that we serve and would come at a steep cost to the other 95%. It's our job to consider future Olympians the same way we consider future leaders who we serve just the same. And there's no question that the 5% matters a lot. It's where almost all the challenges we face are coming from. Judges are ordering the NCAA to grant a 6th, a 7th, or an 8th year of playing time to student athletes. Attorneys general and judges are rewriting transfer policies overnight. In many of these cases, a representative of a member school supports the lawsuits. Showing up in court, filing affidavits, the attacks on the rules are not just coming from outside the membership. Now, to be sure, it's a tiny fraction of the membership, but they destabilize 100% of our athletic programs. There's no more perfect rule or bylaw that can overcome that. That's not to say we can't make progress. We have to, and we will. We're reimagining the infraction system and updating our rules. But internal reform is not enough when the laws change from state to state. That's why we have to engage the federal government, not to run college sports, but to stabilize them. Now, when I was in front of you last year, we talked about how only Congress could address many of the issues that we face. For better or for worse, that's still true. But it's clear we need to respond to the message lawmakers are sending and focus on areas of common ground. I know that lawmakers are seeing the progress that we've made as an association. The core guarantees, the launching of a new era of revenue sharing, post-eligibility health insurance reform, streamlining D1 and doubling student athlete votes. I know that because they talk about it. All those changes in many cases were long overdue, and we accomplished them together. Next, we must continue our internal momentum by simplifying the infractions process, fixing broken calendars, and finishing the job of eliminating outdated rules. In Congress, I believe there is common ground around the period of eligibility, academic standards, reasonable transfer policies, and other bedrock principles. Through targeted intervention on only the narrowest of issues in Congress, combined with our continued internal transformations, we can build the system that today's athletes expect and require. Now, I've been part of a lot of difficult efforts to craft difficult legislation on difficult issues. Sometimes to make progress, we have to break issues up, make incremental progress where we can, and come back to what we can't. But we'll get nowhere, regardless of the issue, if we as college sports leaders are not on the same page. We also need some federal guardrails to protect what we think of as the integrity of the game. And in addition to the areas mentioned previously, this need is especially urgent as it relates to sports betting. Legalization has brought with it a host of threats to our games and to student athletes. In response, the NCAA built the largest integrity monitoring program in the world. We educate hundreds of thousands of athletes about the rules and the risks of sports betting. We find and report threatening messages athletes receive online. We even teamed up with Venmo because student athletes were getting harassed by bettors who had gambling debts. Our enforcement team uncovered student athletes who manipulated their performance to win bets, and we caught coaches trading inside information. And we took action and we banned those responsible. But the sports betting community's response to that was a shoulder shrug. While sportsbooks announced they're taking some prop bets off the market for NBA games because, in their own words, the bets are too risky, they refuse to do the same for college prop bets. In some respects, the sports betting industry's drive for profits is coming at the expense of our student athletes, and it must stop. The NCAA successfully managed to get 4 states to drop these prop bets, but several more inexplicably, that's a tough word, inexplicably haven't done so. But we're going to keep talking. And it's about to get worse. So-called prediction markets are offering what anyone can see is an unregulated betting on college games. One operator, Kalshi, made plans to start taking bets, and I kid you not, this is true, on transfer portal decisions, until we called them out and they backed down. But that's just maybe a for now. Just as we need Congress to stabilize eligibility, we need federal regulators to stabilize this market. And that's why today we petitioned the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to pause all college sports commodities offerings until the agency can develop the same regulations that legal sports books operate under. Whether it's transfer windows or prop bets, the answer cannot be the status quo. We need one set of fair and transparent standards. Now, the NCAA has led a more aggressive response to sports betting than probably any other league in the country, and I really do hope more will join us in this effort. Now, as we gather today in the capital city of our democratic republic, I will spare you the civics lesson on why democracy works and how it could come undone. Instead, I'll just leave you with a story. In 1787, at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, delegates from across our young country designed our federal government system. When the work was done and the Constitution was written, a woman asked Ben Franklin what form of government had been formed. He famously replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." His point was that a system where many independent interests come together and agree to work for a common good is fragile, no matter how well it's designed. And it's fragile because it only works when everyone commits to following the rules, even when it's not convenient. And it requires everyone to participate in the process as designed and agreed to. We need to decide as a membership whether we want to put the system ahead of the easiest option in the moment. We need to accept penalties when they're fairly handed out, just as we all expect our opponents to do. And this may sound a little naive and altruistic, but the fact is, these are choices. And because college sports are unlike any other sports league on the planet, we need to act differently. We're not composed of a few dozen teams. We have nearly 1,100 schools. Nearly 20,000 teams and 550,000 student athletes interconnected across 3 divisions. The success of the Power Conference schools absolutely lifts up the rest of Division I, and Division I lifts up Division II and Division III. And it's a system that's worked for a very long time. And with everybody's active participation, and especially their good faith, it's a system that we can keep. I thank you very much for being here, and I look forward to working with all of you in the year ahead on some of these critically important initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Baker, for your leadership in this crucial time of college sports. Can we take all the prop bets off of our award winners and the prompter, please? I just want to make sure. Come on, that was funny. I need more laughter. That was funny. Now it's time to shine the spotlight on tonight's extraordinary honorees. We are not betting on them. They have already won. These individuals represent the very best of college athletics, leaders, innovators, and champions whose impact reaches far beyond the game. Selecting award winners from so many worthy nominees is not an easy task. You just said it, 100,000 people that we can choose from. So we are honored to have members of the selection committee here with us to help present tonight's awards on stage. So to each of you, thank you for your time and dedication in helping us celebrate excellence in college sports. Our first award this evening is the NCAA Impact Award. Representing all 3 NCAA divisions, these 6 student athletes have distinguished themselves in academics, athletics, community service, and leadership. The 2026 class includes national champions, world-class competitors, academic All-Americans, and community leaders. They are the definition of impact, and tonight we celebrate their achievements. Presenting the awards are NCAA Awards Committee members, Andrew Aliyah, Committee Chair and Associate Commissioner of the Northeast Conference, Nick Joes, Committee Vice Chair and Senior Associate AD at Iowa State University, Kim Hancock, Faculty Athletics Representative, Ferris State University, Anthony Scola, VP for Enrollment Management, Marketing and Strategic Planning at North Park University, Greg Bamberger, Director of Athletics at Fairmont University, and Reagan Hill, Executive Associate AD and Senior Women's Administrator at UNC Charlotte. So thank you so much. Now let's hear it for our Impact Award honorees.
Across divisions, sports, and campuses, these student athletes exemplify excellence in athletics, academics, and service.
I think for me, my time at Franklin Pierce was pretty life-changing, I would say. I just got to meet so many amazing people and see so many different things and experience so much that I wouldn't not have experienced if I wasn't there. So yeah, I'm very grateful for it.
I was very certain that I wanted like a balance of competitive athletics and whatever like extracurriculars I was passionate about too.
Going through the recruiting process was, a mix of emotions, a wave of emotions. Something I reflect back on often and just think about how blessed I was and how grateful I was. But ultimately, ended on Slippery Rock, visited, and immediately felt the connection, the family atmosphere. It felt like the right spot for me to land and be able to, become the best version of myself and mature and grow up to the young man I am today. And also outside of the family atmosphere, the best balance of both football and academics is where I felt, it was for Slippery Rock.
Impact begins with opportunity and the right place to grow.
When I was going in, I was expecting a place where I would be welcomed by a team of strong women and that I would be allowed to be myself and allowed to have interests outside of my sport, but also be pushed to grow into my best self as an athlete and a person.
It was the best environment I've been a part of. Everyone truly cared about each other. Everyone was out there to be the best version of themselves, that's kind of like my motto is be the best version of yourself and make others better as well around you.
Across divisions and campuses, their leadership was rooted in the support for their teammates.
Being a student athlete has just allowed me access into other people's lives. It's allowed me to meet people from all around the world They trust me and they allow me to kind of motivate them to do something more and reach their goals in a way that they never thought was possible.
Quarterback is a lifestyle. You sign up to play the position, obviously, but you're a quarterback off campus too. You're a quarterback by the way you act in the classroom. You're a quarterback by, you opening a door for someone or smiling to someone on campus or saying thank you to a cafeteria worker. But I always made it a point to myself of, I'm gonna do more than just play quarterback on the field. I'm gonna be a great person outside or off the field and, in the classroom and on campus and in the community.
When I think about sports, I think about so much more than competition as like the main value of sport. I think about community mostly and growth and personal growth. And so as a leader, I try to center those things.
I had no idea that tennis could be so collaborative and like team-oriented until I was a college athlete. It taught me how much you grow by being surrounded by other people. And I think like being with people that have grown up differently than you, been in different settings, have different lived experiences, and like getting to spend so much time with them and like learn so much about them and also share my own perspectives. I think I learned so much about camaraderie in that sense.
That sense of camaraderie becomes essential, especially when the path forward takes an unexpected turn.
After finishing 7th at NCAAs, I had really high hopes, really high goals, and that goal was to win a national championship. Second meet of that year, I ended up in a boot, wasn't able to train in the way that I wanted to. I was sitting in 17th, they only take 16, and my name got called, and I had been training. I was prepared for the moment, and it led to a silver medal. It also kind of taught me the lesson that, even when you're not 100%, you can still make things happen.
I would say the standing on the podium at NCAA championships was absolutely a high point of my college career. But I also really hold dearly all the small moments. My coach would always say on the early mornings, he would say, everyone on campus is tucked away in bed, still sleeping, still cozy. Where would you rather be? And the answer was always here with my teammates.
Those moments and experiences shaped more than memories. They were instrumental to the support behind the success.
It means so much, I think, both for me, but then also thinking about, for those that really invested in me. I think about, my athletics director, and when I told her about the club I wanted to start or about different outreach with the Women's in Sports event that I wanted to start, she was always rooting for me. And so thinking about what it also means for, the community that's behind me and led me to this moment. I think getting to share it with them and share my journey also means so much.
It's such a huge award. It's hard to even describe how much it means to me actually. When I look at the other recipients of this year and from the previous years, there's people who, to me, they're like superheroes, people I look up to. So being recognized as one of them, it's something I could have never even dreamed about.
I can't really put my thoughts into words. It's truly an honor and something that I never imagined could be possible. Again, we just have to give all the praise to God, and I have to thank everyone that supported me, my teammates, my coaches, my family, because it takes a community. It's not an individual. I don't think any of these awards are reflective of any individual thing. It's everyone that's poured their time and their resources into me.
Absolutely exceptional young people. I just get so emotional watching this. Our first honoree joins us from Claremont Mudd Scripps. Ella Brissett, a two-time NCAA Division III women's tennis champion and ITA All-American in doubles, earned the ITA Arthur Ashe Leadership and Sportsmanship Award and was a top 30 finalist this year for NCAA Woman of the Year. On campus, she founded the Women's Empowerment in Sports Club, led Title IX workshops, mentored underrepresented students in STEM, and volunteered in clinical health settings. Please join us in honoring Ella Brissett. Next, from John Carroll, we welcome Matt Rather, a decorated Division III football player. Matt was honored with the Remington Award as D3's top center in 2024. He was named to the All-State AFCA Good Works team and was a semifinalist for the Campbell Trophy as well. A team captain and a campus leader, he earned first team academic All-America and AFCA All-America honors, co-founded the Student Alumni Association, and mentored youth through Son of a Saint and Carroll Ballers. Congratulations, Matt Rather. Our next honoree traveled all the way from Sweden to be here tonight. From Franklin Pierce, Aino Martikainen. Also, Aino earned national recognition as a United Soccer Coaches First Team All-American and two-time First Team All-American. She was a three-time First Team All-Northeast 10 selection and twice named Defender of the Year. Off the field, Aino championed mental health initiatives, mentored peers, and served on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. And her academic accomplishments include multiple first-team academic All-America honors and the NE10 President's Award for academic. You have too many awards. Don't look at me like that. This is your fault. Please honor us. Okay, wait. NE10 President's Award for academic excellence. Please join us in honoring Aino. Those are all your awards. Up next, representing Division II and Slippery Rock, Braden Long. Yay, Braden? Okay, you can cheer. A national finalist for the Harlan Hill Trophy, considered the Division II equivalent of the Heisman, and a national finalist for the Campbell Trophy. This 2025 Academic All-American of the Year led his team as two-time captain, setting school records in career completions and completion percentage. He became the only football player in Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference history to win both the Champion Scholar and Athlete of the Year awards. Off the field, Braden maintained a perfect 4.0 and gave back through youth sports, Special Olympics, and campus ministry. I love that. Quarterback is a lifestyle. Braden Long, good job. Our next honoree comes from Yale. Mia Levy, captain of the women's rowing team, led the varsity 8-boat to a national championship. And Yale also, as a team, finished runner-up at the 2025 NCAA championship. She earned Collegiate Rowing Coaches Association Athlete of the Year and First Team All-America honors, and was a top 30 finalist for NCAA Woman of the Year. Mia is also a two-time world champion with Team USA. Out of the water, Mia has made an equally powerful impact, serving as co-president of Yale's Athlete Ally chapter and a tutor for incarcerated students through the Yale Prison Education Initiative. Congratulations, Mia. Closing out our Impressive Impact Award honorees is Nebraska's McKaylin Moore. McKaylin was a standout in Division I track and field, earning multiple All-America honors in the triple jump. And he also included 2 first-team selections and was second at the 2025 Indoor Championships. He received the Big Ten Medal of Honor and was named Nebraska's Most Outstanding Male Student Athlete. Co-founder of the Husker Healers and the Black Student Athlete Association, he served 6 years on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee and volunteered at more than 200 community events. We are proud to honor McKaylin Moore. And please join me in one more time welcoming all of our 2026 NCAA Impact Award recipients. To learn more about the outstanding NCAA Impact Award honorees, please visit ncaa.org. I was letting them milk that award. I thought you guys deserved all of that. That was a standing O, so I was letting them milk it. So now you can go. That was the most we've ever seen. Good job, you guys. Good job. Thank you. Our next award is the NCAA Gerald R. Ford Award, which honors an individual who has provided significant leadership as an advocate for intercollegiate athletics. This year, we proudly celebrate the life and legacy of Charlene Curtis. Her list of firsts were long. First Black woman to play basketball at Radford. First Black women's basketball head coach at Temple. First Black women's basketball head coach in the ACC. Let's hear now from Stephanie Howard, a former Radford player, as she reflects on the impact that Coach Curtis had on her.
Charlene Curtis was a trailblazer who shaped generations of student athletes. Even after her passing, her impact lives on.
She was a very kind person, very nurturing, very compassionate person. She never met a stranger. Once you met her, if you knew her, you would know her for life. She was a small woman in stature, but she was large in heart.
To her athletes, Coach Curtis was more than a coach. She was family.
The impact was immeasurable. She was like a second mom to me.
Her approach to every role, player, coach, and administrator, reflected the same relentless curiosity and dedication.
Once she got into the officiating piece, she studied that as well. She really wanted us officials to get better. I think there were probably some people that weren't sure how well it would be, but I think in the end, people realized that she was the right one for the job.
For those who knew her best, her influence went beyond coaching. It was family, faith, and forever connection.
I would call her for advice in work, in life, in relationships, and she would receive that. That bond just grew stronger later in life, up until the time that she passed. I mean, we spoke often on the phone, just, if nothing, just to say, hey, how you doing?
Today, she's honored for her leadership and the life she devoted to intercollegiate athletics.
I know she would be humbled. I know she would be overwhelmed with good feeling, with love, with joy. It means that other people have been able to recognize her life and what she meant to a lot of people. So heartwarming to know that now you all get to know what I knew and what so many other people knew about Coach Curtis.
Charlene Curtis led with compassion, courage, and conviction. A true advocate for intercollegiate athletics and a mentor whose legacy continues to shape the game and the lives it touches.
Accepting this award on her behalf are her partner Sherilyn Grant and her sister Millicent Curtis Wright, and presenting her award is one of the greatest women I've ever known, Joan Cronin.
I'm Sherilyn. I'd like to thank Dr. Holly Klein for nominating Charlene for this award. I'd also like to thank President Brett Delanovich for his leadership at Radford University and his innovative and bold approach to problem solving. Charlene often described Radford as a very special place, and to the likes of Stephanie Howard and all of her student athletes, I say thank you for allowing her to be your life coach. Finally, I thank the NCAA for recognizing Charlene for this most prestigious award and the heartfelt work you all do each and every day on behalf of student athletes.
Good evening. On behalf of our family, we accept this award with deep reverence and gratitude. Charlene's spirit lives on in our hearts every day. She was a remarkable force, determined, confident and always ready to take on any challenge. I am grateful to God and our parents for the privilege of sharing 66 years with my sister, my partner in crime, my collaborator, teammate, and competitor. Charlene truly took a shot and made a difference in everything she did. Thank you for honoring her legacy.
Great job, ladies.
Oh,
yes. You can learn more about Charlene and all of tonight's honorees by viewing the digital NCAA Honors Program on the NCAA Convention app. Our next honoree put his personal safety aside, jumping into a river to save a student from drowning. The Award of Valor is presented to a coach, administrator, or current or former student athlete who, when confronted with a situation involving personal danger, averted or minimized potential disaster by showing courage and bravery. So let's hear now from former baseball student athlete and current head coach at Radford, Alex Guerra.
Sometimes, courage doesn't come with a warning. It happens in an instant. For Alex Guerra, it started on a fall September day when his fiancée, Heather, asked him if he wanted to go for a walk along the New River.
She loves to go on these walks. And I'll be honest, I had no interest in it. I don't know if we had a bad practice. I don't know if I was just in one of my moods. I don't know. I don't know if I was frustrated with something. But something inside me was like, you know what? You gotta suck it up. Let's enjoy some quality time. Maybe this is good for you. And we just went for a walk, and we got to a certain point that we felt like it was good for us to turn around. And we turn back around and we're coming around the corner and we just hear somebody screaming.
The voice Alex and his fiancée heard was that of Nick Barton, screaming for help as his friend, Cody Duncan, had slipped off a rock and was pulled underwater with the current of the New River.
We both just sprung into action, and we saw a young man just screaming and kind of looking down into the water, going like this. I just threw her my phone and went down to the ledge, and I jumped in the water and sprinted out there. And Cody was there, and he wasn't moving. I wasn't really sure what was going on. I knew that we had to get him out of the water as quick as possible, right? So Nick and I had him, my arms underneath him. He had him by his legs, and we were kind of walking out. We were fighting each other because we were wanting to get him out so quick. So I ended up just kind of laying on the water, and I just kind of rode him back. And while I was laying him down, on my chest, I could feel a pulse. So at that point, the only thing I really knew to do was to wake him up. So I started kind of slapping his face, and I could hear him coming to life a little bit. And I knew at that point I felt like he was going to be okay. I would like to think that everybody would react in a very similar way. But I think at the end of the day, when those moments happen, it's either you're going to fight or flight. I'm just thankful that the good Lord put me in a position to be able to make an impact. If this can inspire someone else to be able to do the right thing in that moment, if someone sees this story and says, you know what, if I'm ever in a situation where I need to help somebody's life, I'm going to do what Coach did.
Moments like these remind us what truly matters. Courage, compassion, and the instinct to act when it counts most.
Very humbling. It's a tremendous honor to be able to represent Radford, our athletic department, our students, our players. It's just great for Radford, and to bring light on to our great university. It's special, and it's very humbling.
Presenting this award tonight is a special guest. Cody Duncan, whose life was saved in this heroic act, is here. Please welcome Alex Guerra.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I start, I just want to thank the good Lord for putting me in that position on the river that day. God works in mysterious ways. He really does, and He's got a plan for everything. Sometimes in the moment we don't know that, but on that particular day, I was in the right place at the right time because of Him. I'm truly honored and humbled to receive this award. When something like this happens, people often say you're a hero. I don't see myself that way. I simply tried to do what I believe was right and was best in that moment. And that belief didn't come from a single moment. It was shaped by the people who have poured into my life. Before I recognize some important people, I want to thank the NCAA and their entire staff for a first-class operation. From our visit to Indianapolis to the media production and communication, you have made this so special. And I think I speak on behalf of all of our other honorees. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to thank my fiancée, Heather. Heather, it was your idea to go for a walk along the river that day, one that I had no interest in participating in. But I've learned very quickly if I listen to you, life is going to be just okay. It was you who had the courage to bring public attention to the situation. You were incredibly brave, calm, and supportive in a moment that could have easily gone another way. Your strength, compassion, and selflessness inspire me every single day. I'm so grateful for your love and the life we're building together. I wouldn't be standing here without you. I also want to recognize Nick, Cody's friend, who can't be with us tonight, who showed remarkable bravery and courage in a moment of panic. When things were unfolding, Nick didn't freeze. He stepped up, his actions made a real difference, and he deserves recognition for that. To my parents, thank you for instilling in me the values that guided my reaction that day. You taught me to care about others, to stay grounded under pressure, and to always do the right thing. This recognition reflects the foundation you built long before I became a coach. I'm incredibly thankful to Radford University, my school, a place that means so much to me, both as my workplace and my alma mater. To Holly Klein, thank you for believing in me and taking the time to nominate me for this honor. To Robert Linderberg, Corey Duran, who I've known since I was a player, and President Brett, thank you for your trust and allowing me the privilege and honor to lead the Radford University baseball program. I'm proud for everything that this university and athletic department stands for. Lastly, tonight is especially meaningful because Cody is here with us. Cody was a student involved that day, and I'm proud to say he's doing great, hence by him presenting me this award. He's currently finishing his master's degree from the University of Virginia and continuing to move forward with his life. Seeing you here, Cody, is the greatest reminder of why this moment truly matters. This award isn't just about one person or one moment. It's about community and choosing to act when it matters most. I'm grateful to the NCAA for this honor, and I accept it with gratitude and humility on behalf of everyone who supports, teaches, and believes in doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Thank you to the NCAA for this honor, and thank you all for being here tonight. God bless. Thanks so much. You're the best, by the way. You really are.
Congratulations, Alex, on your well-deserved award. Well, tonight's next award is the Silver Anniversary Award, which is presented to former college athletes on the 25th anniversary of the end of their college sports participation. This officially makes me feel old because I distinctly remember doing the Rose Bowl, and I was so proud of myself. I was working for ESPN Radio, and I got to Drew Brees before the TV person did, and got the interaction with he and Marcus Tuiasosopo. Do you remember this? I was there. And here you are 25 years later. It blows my mind. This year's Silver Anniversary includes college athletes who are now achieving great success in their chosen professions and making significant contributions to their communities. Presenting this is our awards committee member and Tennessee Women's Athletic Director Emeritus, Joan Cronin. Let's hear now from the Silver Anniversary honorees.
When I was 18 months old, I was diagnosed with bacterial meningitis. I got sick as a baby, and they had to amputate both my legs below the knee. Other than that, I grew up pretty normal. My parents were amazing. Expected nothing but hard work, and there were no excuses. I don't think anybody my freshman year in college thought that in 4 years this kid will win a national title. I don't know that I didn't, but it wasn't on my radar. The difference between having a good senior season and winning a national title, and that is kind of a crazy belief in yourself. By the time the season started, I was on a mission. It's a job where you solve problems. You help people, of course, and you're changing their life and making something that seems so on the surface big deal, less of a big deal. There's a deep passion for something when you really love it. Whether it's what I do now as a prosthetist or wrestling, man, it never feels like work. Every award you get and every accolade that somebody kind of bestows on you is like, makes you reflect on the journey and the people that were on that journey with you. If anything that my journey can show anybody is that you can achieve those highest accolades coming from the Division III level.
Millersville and NCAA were basically the springboard or the foundation of my career, both academically and my career in medicine. I think that playing a sport in college actually made time management better for me. Having less time made it more important for me to get things done that I needed to get done before going to practice or a match or traveling. So for me, it was actually really helpful. That's sort of carried through my life today. At Millersville, I don't know if I knew that I was a leader until I looked back. I probably felt like I led more by example. Same thing today, I try to lead by example, and supporting a team and building up a team is important in medicine, in the hospital, just like it was in college. Tennis and being a surgeon, they're so much alike. As a tennis player, one needs to practice, hone their skills to compete at a high level. In the operating room, I have to be a skilled surgeon, I have to hone my skills, but to be able to take the best care of a patient, we need an entire team. I could never do anything by myself, and they're completely parallel. Receiving this award is incredible. It's very humbling. I'm very thankful to NCAA. I'm also thankful for Millersville for the nomination. I absolutely share this award with my teammates and my coaches.
I was born with a hearing disability, and my mom and dad found out when I was 3 years old, and I got bullied a lot for my hearing aids, for my speech impediment, for being different, for being tall. And I remember one day walking on the way home from school, throwing my hearing aids out. I was sitting on my couch at home, and I remember I was flipping through the channel, and then the screen just stopped on a pair of eyes. And as the screen, as it panned out, the first time I saw women playing on national TV, the first time I was introduced to the University of Tennessee and the Pat Head Summit. So when I got to the University of Tennessee, I was not wearing my hearing aid. And remember one day after practice, Pat was like, "Hey, Catch, we need to see you in the training room when you're finished." So I get to the training room. She said, "I think it's best for you to get back into wearing your hearing aid. Catch, one day your story will impact thousands, maybe millions of people. I think you should get back into wearing them." And who's gonna say no to Pat Summit? It's amazing to receive this award. You don't live life, you don't go through life to win awards. You live your life accordingly, and my faith is a huge part of who I am. So winning an award like this is a testament of continuing to make a difference on the court, off the court. But it is truly an honor.
So I was a Texas kid, grew up in Austin, Texas. Always thought that I would stay in the state of Texas. Joe Tiller was at Wyoming. He gets the job at Purdue. And he had told me that I was on his radar at Wyoming, but once he got to Purdue at Big Ten, he felt like, hey, I can go after this kid now. I really had no idea where Purdue was, did not know Purdue was in the Big Ten, but I knew of its academic reputation. And so honestly, that was the most attractive thing, was, hey, I'm gonna go and get a great education. I really never thought that football would take me anywhere beyond college. Receiving this award, you know, You join a pretty elite club with all those who have come before, had a chance to win this award, and I think the way that we all just take it as a great sense of responsibility to continue to carry on the legacy for what this award represents. To me, the academic portion of the student athlete is just as important as what you're going to do on the field. I think the greatest thing that any young person can do is be a college student athlete. Every one of these young student athletes is going to have the opportunity to go on with life after college and life after athletics and become great leaders in whatever industry they choose.
Just incredible. Full disclosure, Tamika threw those hearing aids into a cornfield, and when she got home, she told her mother she had lost them. We know this story, Tamika. Nick Ackerman made history as the first NCAA athlete to win a national wrestling title without the use of his legs, a defining moment in NCAA history. And today he continues to inspire through his work as a prosthetist, advocate, and mentor. Please welcome from Simpson, Nick Ackerman.
Well, it seems like a lifetime ago. I was just a young kid going to college with hopes and dreams of doing something great in the wrestling room, maybe making it to some classes. The reality was I was a pretty mediocre wrestler by Iowa standards and not an exceptional student by Simpson College standards. But Simpson College and Ron Peterson took a chance on me. I'm forever grateful for that opportunity Simpson College provided to me, and I'm humbled by this award from the NCAA. I'd like to first thank my parents. As a father now, I can more accurately understand how hard it is sometimes. You guys did an exceptional job. From never missing an event, even if it was to watch me get pinned in 30 seconds as a young wrestler, to always expecting us to do our best and never making excuses for any shortcomings. You set the standard for me to be on this stage 47 years later. Maybe it's 46. Mom, thank you so much for being here and everything you did and continue to do for Nate and I. We are forever grateful, and I love you. Thank you. To my older brother, thank you for always leading the way and cutting the path. I'm certain most of the reason that teachers and coaches like me growing up and in college was because you set the standard, and I just got to follow somebody great. To my family, my wife Rachel, our boys Mason, Greer, and Finn, thank you for encouraging me to even accept this award when we were on vacation last summer. It's kind of funny, they know a lot of the stories from me from 25 years ago, but I didn't even know my wife at that time. Today, we're just consumed with making sure that we get to the next event on the calendar, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I feel so fortunate to be your husband and your guys' father. It is truly my joy, and I feel so lucky to watch you boys grow up into exceptional young men. Rachel, thank you for supporting me and our family, and I love you all very much. Thank you again to the NCAA for pulling this story out of the vault and dusting it off 25 years later. I'm not certain I deserve any of this, but I'm grateful to be here for you, with you all, and thank you.
Dr. Lauren Whitmer dominated the tennis courts at Millersville and now leads in medicine as a board-certified urogynecologist and division chief at Penn Medicine. Congratulations, Dr. Whitmer.
Thank you all so much. It's truly an honor to receive this award. I'm incredibly grateful to the NCAA and to Millersville University for the opportunities that shaped not just my athletic career, but who I am today. Congratulations to my fellow award recipients. Your stories are incredible and humbling, and I'm so honored to stand among you. To my coaches and teammates, thank you for pushing me, believing in me, and sharing so many unforgettable and often hilarious moments. A special thank you to my coach, DeWitt Boyd, and my doubles partner and built-in college bestie, Abby Anderson, who's here today. Our time on and off the court truly means the world to me. To my dearest friends and partner who came tonight, thank you for being here and for supporting me through every chapter. To my kids, Noah and Taylor, you inspire me every single day, and I hope you know how proud I am of you. And most importantly, as always, to my parents, Jay and Linda, thank you for your endless love, sacrifices, and belief in me. I stand up here today because of you. Thank you.
Drew Brees rewrote records at Purdue and became an NFL legend, retiring as the league's all-time passing leader. Just a few weeks ago, Drew was named among 4 modern-era player finalists in their first year of eligibility for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's a no-brainer. Beyond football, his philanthropic work has transformed lives through education, health, and community. Support me right now in honoring and welcoming Drew Brees.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you to the NCAA. Thank you to the late, great Joe Tiller, my head coach at Purdue University, who took a chance on this 6-foot, 175-pound kid coming out of Austin, Texas, who wasn't quite sure what the world looked like outside the state of Texas. But the opportunity to go to Purdue University was undoubtedly the greatest decision I've ever made in my life. Not only did that result in the opportunity to get a world-class education, to meet some of, still to this day, my best friends, to meet my wife, Brittany. The result of that are 4 beautiful children, Balin, Bowen, Callan, and Rylan. Truly one of the greatest opportunities that I've ever been given. I'll say this, when I went to Purdue, it was truly to get a world-class education and have the opportunity to continue to live out my childhood dream of being a college athlete and being able to play athletics. I think as the landscape continues to evolve and change across high school athletics, across college athletics, and even at the professional ranks, let's make sure that we never lose track of the fact that athletics is all about character and leadership development. That's what it's always been about, and that's what it should always be about. So whether you are a parent, a coach, or a student athlete yourself, let's never forget that. Thank you.
Our final Silver Award honoree is one of the greatest to ever play the game of basketball, an NCAA champion, WNBA icon, and 4-time Olympic gold medalist. Her legacy extends off the court through her foundation and tireless advocacy for youth. She is generally, I can honestly say, the most beloved woman in all of basketball, Tennessee legend Tamika Catchings.
Psalm 12:48, to whom much is given, much is expected. 30 years ago, I remember I was that little girl in 8th grade, watching TV the first time I saw Pat Summitt, the first time I saw Orange, the first time I was introduced to the University of Tennessee, the second time I made a goal. My goal was to go and play for that crazy lady stomping back and forth on the sideline. It's crazy to think that it's been 25 years since I graduated from the University of Tennessee. And like Drew said, I can't imagine how my life would have been I can't imagine who I would have been as a person. I can't imagine all the things that I've been able to do without having gone to the University of Tennessee. Pat always preached about we're going to be great on the court, we're going to be great in the classroom, we're going to be great in the community. But at the end of the day, after those 4 years, we're going to be great people. And I think if there's one thing that I've taken out of all of the things, it's in every single thing that I have done in my life, I want to be great. I want to be great, I want to have an impact, I want to make sure that the people that I get a chance to serve, that they walk away and I walk away knowing that I've given every single thing that I can. But it's not just about Pat, it's about the people that came along with it. Ms. Cronin was actually my athletic director. I have a lot of my Tennessee people that are here. But even I have a high school teammate that's here, my sister's here, my village is here, my financial advisor is here, my agent's here. It has taken a lot. And if we all know one thing, you don't achieve anything without a team. You don't achieve anything without the people that are around you. And so it is important who you put around you. It is important as you grow and as you learn and as you get to that next level, it is important the people that go with you. Because I would not have accomplished, and I stand up here by myself, but I'm not by myself. My village surrounds me in every single award that I win and every single opportunity that I get to continue to serve. So there is one thing that I will leave with everybody. Dreams do come true. That 8th grade girl, when I go back and I look at her, man, I have come a long way. But I'm so grateful for the University of Tennessee. I'm grateful for the NCAA for giving me this opportunity and giving me this award. I'm thankful for my village that's here, that continue to show up night in and night out. Thank you, guys. God bless. Go, Lady Vol!
Love you, girl. Congratulations, and please welcome back our Outstanding Silver Anniversary Award honorees. Okay, shameless plug. Tamika has started a very successful tea shop in Indiana, Tease Me Indy. She's got several shops there, so get out and support her when you're in Indianapolis for NCAA events. Our next award is the Pat Summit Award, which is reserved for an individual in the association's membership who has demonstrated devotion to the development of college athletes and made a positive impact on their lives. This year's award is presented to former head coach of Temple women's fencing and Olympian Nikki Frank. Let's hear from Nikki.
Temple University's Nikki Frank embodies the values of leadership and devotion to student athletes. Her impact as a coach and mentor spans generations.
And my senior year of high school, we got a new coach, and she started a fencing club. And I was like, fencing? What is that? I had never seen it, but it looked cool. I'd never seen fencing, heard of fencing. And so I tried it, and I found it was a lot of fun. And I started having some success. And I just said, this is something I think I would really like to do.
Growing up in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City, Nikki Frank never imagined fencing would define her life's path.
Being on the fencing team gave me a safe space, a welcoming space, which was not necessarily true everywhere at that college at that time. It helped me grow as a person, helped me understand the importance of team and supporting each other and being there for each other, which is how I try to run my teams.
Upon the completion of her degree at Brooklyn College, Nikki Frank started her next chapter at Temple University.
So I went there and got my master's in public health. When I went there, they had a men's team, but they had a women's club. And the athletic director, her name was Barbara Lockhart. So I went into her office and I said, why do the men have a team but we only have a club? And she said, well, should we have a team? And I said, well, yeah.
What started as a simple question became the foundation for one of college fencing's most respected programs. Over 5 decades, Coach Frank built Temple into a nationally ranked powerhouse and shaped the lives of countless student athletes.
With my athletes and with their families, I emphasize the fact that they are here to get an education. That's the most important thing. I'm all about education. I'm a teacher.
Nikki Frank's legacy is one of courage, mentorship, and opportunity, sharing the same values that define Pat Summitt's life and career, making Coach Frank a trailblazer of her own.
Because you're the first at something doesn't make you a trailblazer. It's why you're there and what are you doing to help other people be there. I don't want to be the only one. I want there to be more. I want there to be a flow of people that I might start, but there has to be something coming behind. Otherwise, what's the point?
Presenting this honor is Awards Committee member and recipient of the 2017 Summit Award, Joan Cronin. Please join me in welcoming Nikki Frank to the stage.
Thank you. First and foremost, all glory goes to God because I have truly been blessed in my life. And there are several people that I want to thank. First of all, I want to thank the NCAA Selection Committee for awarding me this prestigious Pat Summitt Award. It's truly an honor, and the athletic staff that has been so helpful. I want to thank all the coaches that taught and encouraged me, all the administrators that encouraged me, all my former assistant coaches that have been part of my Temple journey. Without them, we couldn't achieve anything. Especially want to thank my husband and my children who have supported me throughout my 50 years coaching at Temple, and other family members that are here in attendance today. I want to thank the Black Women in Sport Foundation, which I co-founded, and those members that are here today to support me. Thank you so much for coming. Most importantly, my Temple family that's here in attendance. The athletic director, Arthur Johnson, and other staff members who have been wonderful in what they have allowed me to accomplish. Temple University, I want to thank for their unwavering support for the last 50 years. Temple provided me the unique opportunity to do the two things that I love most, which is teach and coach. I taught public health as well as coached the fencing team. I don't know if any other Division I school would have given me a chance, an opportunity, as a 21-year-old African-American woman just out of college to develop a Division I varsity program with no coaching experience. What our athletic director at the time, Barbara Lockhart, I believe what she saw in me was not the lack of experience, but my genuine passion and love of fencing. Sharing that passion with young women over the years has truly been a blessing, and some of my former students are here today, and I want to thank them because I can't accomplish anything without their hard work. So in closing, I just want to say that my journey is a prime example of the importance of opportunity. All I've been blessed to accomplish is because I was given an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to make mistakes, and an opportunity to excel. And without that opportunity, I wouldn't be standing here today. So I encourage the administrators and the coaches that are out in the audience today not to be afraid to give young, aspiring coaches and administrators an opportunity whenever you can, because you never know where it might lead. I am deeply humbled and honored to receive this amazing award. Thank you very, very much to the NCAA.
Congratulations again, Nikki, on your years of dedication and mentorship to college athletes. After facing a life-changing health challenge and months of intensive rehab, our next honoree has inspired others with her remarkable strength and determination. The Inspiration Award is a unique honor reserved for remarkable people who display determination when confronted with a life-changing event and serve as an inspiration to others. Let's hear now from Marymount, Virginia, student athlete Francesca Loiseau.
At just 18 years old, Marymount tennis student athlete Francesca Loiseau was living out her freshman dream, training and discovering her place in college athletics.
We were at lift and we were doing just the warm-up, and all of a sudden my left side just started to kind of tingle. As soon as I stood up, I fell right back to the ground. My left side had just gave out on me. I was in a coma for about 3 days. It was an AVM rupture on the right side of my brain that had caused a stroke on the left side. And it's really rare, not many people have them. I couldn't move myself, couldn't move my arm, couldn't move my leg, so I had to get help out of bed, get dressed in the morning, eat, shower. So it was pretty terrifying.
The physical pain was intense, but the emotional recovery was even harder. Learning how to accept what had happened and who she was now became its own battle.
In my head, I was like, oh, people are just gonna talk about me and know me as that girl that collapsed. I didn't even want to go outside to like a grocery store. My parents wanted me to just get out. It was just too hard to face.
Still, she made a promise to return to campus and the game she loved.
My two biggest goals after the injury were to get back to school, just on campus, and get back to tennis. I just wanted to feel normalcy like in my life. And I think the biggest thing is just I learned a lot about like the support system I have. You know, everyone realizes, oh, you have like your family and friends, but I don't think I fully like comprehended how deep that goes.
When she finally stepped back onto the tennis court, it wasn't about winning matches. It was about defying every expectation.
It was surreal. It was also like terrifying because I was like, oh no, like what if I do bad? But I think I fully then realized no one really cares if I win or lose. It's just that I'm back there. My doubles partner, she just told me, she was like, who cares if we don't win? Because she was just like, this isn't really for anybody else. This is for you. It's the goal you wanted. And there were a lot of times in physical therapy that I'd cry and I just was like, oh, I'm right, I'm done. Like I quit, this is too hard.
Today, Francesca's story is more than one of recovery. It's about resilience, gratitude, and the power of community. To everyone around her, she is living proof of what it means to never give up.
I don't think I'm inspirational. It's the people around me, like really, the support system I have. It's my parents, my brother. I think they're the ones that inspired me because they were always there no matter what had happened. They inspire me to try to keep pushing and be the best person I can be.
Please welcome Francesca Loiseau. Here to present her award is the committee chair, Andrew Aaliyah.
I'd like to start by thanking God, as He's the reason I'm standing here today. If not for Him answering my prayers, I would not have been able to accomplish all that I have over the past 3 years. I'd like to thank the NCAA for this honor. As I look back on past recipients, I feel blessed to be in their company. Without college tennis, I wouldn't be the person I am today. The girl that lied in a hospital bed 3 years ago would never have believed the impact she would eventually make. Since my brain injury, I've met and become friends with other people who have experienced brain injuries of varying kinds, and I've learned that although the injury itself can vary, the mental struggles are the same. It's easy to think you're not good enough or capable of accomplishing the impossible, but I've learned that anything is possible when you lean on your support system. My injury brought countless tears and heartbreak. I wouldn't have been able to face it without the love and support of my family and friends, who helped me push through the doubt and silence the voices telling me to give up or that I wasn't worth it. I never imagined that my worst day would inspire other survivors, let alone other people, to keep pushing for their dreams and remind them that they are more than their injury. Returning to college after the injury was a challenge, but I was determined to play tennis again and graduate on time, both of which I'm proud to share I was able to do. With my teammates' support, it was easy to find the passion to play again. I was encouraged to take my time getting back to school, but instead I took summer and winter classes so I could graduate alongside my friends. If anyone is looking to hire an accountant, talk to me later. I recognize that this award is not mine alone. It belongs to the family and friends who put their lives on hold as soon as they got the call and slept in the hospital waiting to hear if I was going to wake up. To my roommates who were there every step of the way, to the people who never knew me that prayed for me, to the nurses and doctors who saved me, to all the occupational and physical therapists who guided my recovery and put up with my complaining, to the Marymount Athletic Department who continue to support me, I'm eternally grateful. Before my injury, I never stopped and reflected on the number of people who truly care for me. I would not be the person I am today without all the people who were in my corner. Most importantly, 3 people stood by me in my darkest hours while I struggled to understand why me, and during the days when I felt my highest, who really deserved the recognition. To my brother who shaved his head when I was upset that they had to shave mine. Whenever I was upset, you were there to make me laugh and smile. You're my first best friend and continue to be on my side. I have never been more proud to call you my big brother and my role model. My father who slept in an uncomfortable chair for days because he didn't want me to be alone. He would recap the Phillies and their playoff run and the Eagles games for me because he knew it brought me happiness and hope when I needed it most. He was always there to wipe my tears away, and his strength and love helped push me to keep going. Being his little girl is by far the best thing that has happened to me. To be loved by my dad is better than any Eagles Super Bowl victory. My mother, who would have, without a doubt, traded places with me in a heartbeat. She ensured I never felt alone in rehab and learned the therapist's methods to help me with the daily task I was no longer able to manage. She doesn't get enough praise for everything she did behind the scenes to ensure I remained focused on my recovery. She was my chauffeur, my nurse, my cook, and my secretary. Mom, I was always been your little sunshine, but during this journey, you were my brightest sun to help me guide me through the darkest times. To be part of this family is one of the greatest feelings a person can experience. Their unwavering love is the reason I can be up here today. Thank you to my amazing village for your support and love, and the NCAA committee who saw value in my story. I'm deeply honored to be standing alongside so many inspiring athletes whose strength, resilience, and dedication reminds me of the unifying strength of sports. Each of your stories motivates me both as an athlete and as a person. Thank you for believing in me and this incredible honor.
Congratulations, Francesca, and thank you for sharing your journey and inspiring all of us. I do need an accountant for my foundation I just started, so I'm serious. We'll talk later. You seem like you won't give up on hard challenges, so I'm gonna go with you. From one amazing young woman to another, as we end the end of our program, we want to celebrate one of the NCAA's most prestigious honors, the Woman of the Year. From more than 600 graduating female student athlete nominees, conferences select their choices to advance, and 30 of those are then named as finalists. We finally narrow it down to just one, who shines among them as the NCAA Woman of the Year. And go softball. We have a standout softball player with back-to-back national titles from the University of Texas at Tyler. So let's hear it for this year's nominee, Sam Schott.
At UT Tyler, Sam Schott built a legacy defined by achievement, leadership, and purpose. Her journey was shaped not just by success, but by the people who stood beside her.
I think my time there was definitely more than just those national championships, just the relationships with my teammates that I was able to form. Those will be lifelong friendships, and I'm so grateful for them. And then just the life lessons my coaches taught me as well. That's just something I'll hold on to me for the rest of my life.
Those relationships extended far beyond the field, grounded in the community that raised her.
East Texas, it's a really tight-knit community, and there's so many people that pour into you. Life isn't possible without community, and I truly am just so grateful for the community I grew up in. So just giving back in different ways is something I value, and I don't believe I'd be here without my community today, so the least I can do is give back to the community that helped raise me.
And while her teams reached the height of Division II softball, the moment she remembers most carried a deeper meaning.
After we all got in a big circle and just prayed and thanked God for the season and just how He had moved through our team, that was a really special moment for me.
Her faith helped her see every season as both a gift and a lesson.
Everything has an ending eventually, and so just being grateful for the highs and lows that college athletics brings, and then just life in general, because there's an ending to everything, so you just have to soak it in.
Sam led with consistency, humility, and a commitment to knowing the people around her.
I would say I was a silent leader by action, and I'm sure Coach Reed could touch on it better than I could. I think it's important as a leader to know who your teammates are as people and not just softball players.
As she reflects on this honor, she sees the full weight of what it represents.
Truly just seeing all the other nominees and everything, it just does give you a magnitude for how amazing this award is. It shows that I did make a little bit of an impact on Tyler and my community.
Her 4 years at UT Tyler left a mark on her teammates, her coaches, and the community that supported her.
Thank you for supporting me and helping me grow in ways I didn't know I needed to grow. Thank you to the UT Tyler community for always supporting us and just loving softball.
Sam's story is one of purpose, strengthened by her faith and defined by the impact she made on others, exemplifying what it means to be the NCAA Woman of the Year.
Please join me in congratulating Sam Schott. Here to present this award is Lily Despain, a top 24, top 30 honoree.
Thank y'all. And just thanks and praise be to God for bringing so many amazing people together in the same building at the same time. Hearing all y'all's stories is something I'll definitely carry with me. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge and thank the NCAA, not only for making tonight possible, but for the many behind-the-scenes efforts that make an award like this possible and meaningful. This recognition reflects a commitment to valuing athletes for who they are beyond the jersey, and I'm honored to stand here because of that. To my coaches, Coach Reed, Coach Springer, and Coach Wiley, thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to chase a childhood dream while also supporting my call to become a future physician. UT Tyler softball didn't just shape me as an athlete, it shaped me as a person. Each one of you challenged me, believed in me, and helped me grow in ways that I didn't know I needed. To my teammates, this moment exists because of the work you've done when no one was watching. This award isn't possible without y'all. The quiet grind and the joy we found in all of it together, y'all have been my constant encouragement, my accountability, and my people. I'm so grateful for the relationships we built and the grit, humor, and heart y'all have poured into my life. I'm proud to call y'all my people. To the athletic department and the university, thank you for showing me the true magnitude of this award and making me feel incredibly supported and loved throughout this process. Thank you, Dr. Ferguson, Dr. Philly, Miss Mary, and Dalton, for the encouragement and dedication y'all have poured into me. Because of you, this recognition feels deeply meaningful and rooted in something bigger than myself. And to my family, the foundation of every step of my life, y'all are the reason I'm standing here. The unseen sacrifices and the belief y'all have had in me my entire life is what has made this journey and my future journeys possible. Thank y'all for showing up and always being my #1 cheerleaders. My athletic dreams, my academic goals, and the person I continue to become are all rooted in the love and support and example y'all have given me. Everything I do carries a piece of y'all with it. One of the greatest lessons this award has reminded me of is that life is never about the destination alone. It is about the journey, and even so, the people you walk with. It's about finding the ones who fill your cup up and encourage you throughout the ups and downs of life. God has blessed me with memories and abundance of opportunities and relationship that I always praise Him for. This word is not a reflection of what I have accomplished on my own, but of what God has done through the community He's placed me in. It was not achieved by me alone. This award belongs to my coaches, my teammates, my family, my friends, my university, and everyone who has supported and encouraged me along the way. I'm deeply honored to accept it, not as an individual achievement, but as a shared one. And finally, to the NCAA. I am so grateful for the way y'all recognize athletes beyond performance. My hope and prayer is that this award continues to encourage others to pursue lives rooted in purpose, relationship, and impact. And before I wrote this speech, my coach, Coach Reed, was still coaching at the time, and he has recently retired, so I would just like to honor you and the amazing career you've had and the impact on so many girls like myself. Thank you, Coach Reed, for everything and just being an amazing person. Thank you all so much.
So what was so cute about that is I'm standing back here so I can see the teleprompter, and she really does have y'all, like Y'. I was like, oh my gosh, she's written y'all through the speech. I love that. I asked Sam what she's up to now, just casually said, well, I'm in medical school, so no big deal. From softball champion to now becoming a doctor in med school, very special. To close this evening, we will present the NCAA's highest honor. The Theodore Roosevelt Award is known as the Teddy, named for President Theodore Roosevelt, whose concern for intercollegiate athletics led to the formation of the NCAA in 1906. This award recognizes an individual who, by personal example and contributions to society, exemplifies the ideals to which college sports and athletic programs are dedicated. And tonight, we honor Georgetown basketball legend and humanitarian Dikembe Mutombo. His impact reached far beyond the court, and through his foundation, he championed health and education and served as the NBA's first global ambassador. Members of his family join us in the audience tonight to honor his memory and pay tribute to the extraordinary impact he had on others. Let's hear now from his wife and son.
Before Dikembe Mutombo became a global ambassador and humanitarian, his story began with an unexpected nudge from his brother, a moment that set everything in motion.
So one day, he took him with him, and as the game started, he collapsed and fell on his chin and cut his chin, and that was it for him. So he decided then that, forget about it, it's not my thing. But his brother was persistent. So he continued to push him. You have to come, you're blessed with height, you have to do something with your height, and basketball will be great.
What started as persistence eventually opened a door that no one could have predicted, a path that would carry him halfway across the world.
So when he came to Georgetown, he wasn't really an experienced basketball player. I believe he was in second year that the late coach Don Thompson approached him if he would be interested in joining the team. He became a father figure to him. He saw the potential, and he just asked him if you can work really hard, can get better, and you can actually make a living. Coach Thompson, he wasn't not only a coach, but he was really a father figure who convinced all of them that education was important, that one day the basketball will stop bouncing, and what do you become? The idea of helping the less fortunate, be open-minded, that whenever you are blessed, your blessing is not only for yourself, but it's also to help others. And that aligns with Georgetown University philosophy, men and women for others.
Dikembe Mutombo showed the world that greatness isn't measured in points or trophies, but in the people you lift along the way. And that is the legacy this award celebrates.
I hope that his legacy will look like people living out their lives with just a little bit more empathy and a little bit more compassion and a little bit more selflessness. If there's anybody out there that wants to be a little bit more like Dikembe Mutombo, just start with the person next to you. Make sure you do everything you can to make sure others are taken care of.
For his family, the award reflects something deeper, the lives touched and the hearts changed by his presence.
It's really humbling to learn that he has been awarded the highest, award that the NCAA can give.
Awards are symbolic gestures of how people feel about you in their hearts. I think he's receiving this award because the people that have interacted with his story, I think they've been touched by him. They've been moved by him. They've had their lives changed by him to some degree. And I think that's what this award represents for me and my family.
Please welcome Ryan Mutombo, who will be accepting this award on his late father's behalf. And presenting the award is NCAA President Charlie Baker.
Okay, holy crap. I would like to start by thanking everyone at the NCAA and the Theodore Roosevelt Association. Thank you, Charlie. It's been a pleasure to be here tonight, and it's an incredible honor to be accepting this award on behalf of my father and my family. Growing up, it was easy to underestimate the impact of my dad's work. It was like hearing him praised at events was so normal. But when I got to the NCAA, I started to meet fellow players, both teammates and opponents, who attended the international NBA-sponsored academies that wouldn't have existed without my dad. It was odd. These were kids who grew up on the other side of the planet in vastly different circumstances than I did. And here we were getting ready to share a practice court, a meal, or a stadium. And here I was often receiving thanks on behalf of my dad for opportunities he helped create. I never really figured out what to say. But that's the magic of sports, and it's part of the magic that this award tries to capture. My dad had a tendency to oversimplify complex topics, a trait which made him believe he was phenomenal at giving advice that I often found incoherent. However, I will borrow some of his logic in imparting this one piece of advice to you all. Throughout life, many of us will stress attempting to provide what our families and communities need from us, failing to realize that the answer lies therein, us. Our friends, loved ones, and the world need all of us to give more of ourselves. This is Sports 101. It is the ultimate cheat sheet for life's one-question exam. What will we do for others? More so than any award, I am proud to have a father that aced the exam. Thank you. Do I take this back to my seat?
That took a lot of self-control. I did have one instinct to just block that out of your hand, just for old time's sake. We are so honored to celebrate the life and legacy of Dikembe Mutombo. He has opened so many doors for young men and women in Africa to come and play on many different platforms. It's a beautiful legacy. So congratulations again to all of this year's amazing award winners. One last time, let's have our 2026 honorees please stand for one final round of applause. As we leave here tonight, I'm on my way tomorrow. Please tune in to Texas versus South Carolina women's basketball. Then I have the national championship, and then I have South Carolina at Oklahoma women's basketball. And I hope you will leave here as inspired as I am. These young people are so beautiful. All the work that you're doing, it might seem hard right now and it might seem thankless, but please remember that we are impacting lives every single day through the NCAA, and we're grateful for all of you and for the young lives that will continue to make our world, our country, our universities stronger and better. On behalf of the NCAA, thank you for celebrating with us at the NCAA Honors tonight. Thank you so much, and congratulations on all the wonderful work you're doing and putting people like these out into the world. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of this evening's honorees. Tonight's program has concluded. Convention attendees are invited to join the welcome reception now taking place in the atrium. Honorees and guests, please make your way to the Cherry Blossom Ballroom with your tickets for dinner. Thank you for attending, and good night.